Hit Season 2.
Welcome back, guys, for match number 2 of 3 tonight. We are about to jump into Samsung Galaxy Con versus the Jin Air Green Wings.
Yeah, Hurricane looks handsome. Hey, man, he brought his A game with his hair. Oh, whoa, oh! Hyun was late. I saw him actually backstage. He was talking to one of the high-ups at Kespa. I don't know what they were talking about, but he's back now. Maru versus Deer, the opening match here. Deer, an incredible Protoss player, overshadowed by other Protosses in the last few years, but he's always been really, I think, you know, I don't know if everyone will agree with me, but I think he's always kind of been around like top 5, top 6 for like pretty much since he was a champion. Even when he had his like downtime, you could see the makings of how good he was, and he brought his results way up, especially this year at the beginning of the year. But Maru is just the better player. He is unstoppable right now, 15-1. Could go 16-1. The only way, if Maru would like to tie with Hero in first place, he will have to win this match and also win the ace match. But if Jin Air goes to the ace match, it means they will not take first place. They need to win this without going to the ace match. They need to win with at least a +2 indicator tonight in order to move on to first place and pass Jin Air Green Wings. Wait, am I right on that? Wait, actually, no, wait, hold on.
You mean Jin Air? Jin Air,
actually,
if they win it all.
Yeah, they win it all. Actually, they win it all. I was thinking backwards again in my brain because I have the sheet in front of me that doesn't have the updated points, and I'm like, no, wait, no, there's this other thing that can happen. No, you were right. I feel like an idiot, but
basically they just have to win.
They just
and
have
they're
to
in first
win,
place.
That's right.
So I think there's a pretty good chance. Like I definitely felt like they were going to take this pretty easily against Samsung. Samsung is already out. They have no chance of making it into the grand postseason or into the round 3 playoffs. So this is their last game for the entire season.
I just want to clarify one more thing. So if Jin Air, because this is what I think I was trying to think towards backwards, if Jin Air loses in the ace match still, they still don't advance, right, to first
They're
place.
in second
18.
place, yeah.
So it's basically win or lose here for Jin Air. All right, now that we've established that fully, you guys know how bad I am with math and stats and things like this. Maru, Trap, SOS, and Rogue, the lineup today, the lineup we've been seeing for a while. Sometimes Trap and Pure do swap. In fact, Trap kind of the rarest player of this 4.
I can't believe that they're playing Trap instead of Pure, but I guess when it comes down to it, when we go to those best of 7s, you may want to bring out Trap in certain situations over Pure or over Rogue or one of these other players. But maybe they just want to get him a little bit of practice, because if they wanted to like 100% secure this, like you want to play Gear here for sure, especially because Trap is not doing all that well recently.
Now, Deer, his worst matchup, half of his losses come from the matchup versus Terran here, and Maru is 6-1. The only loss he's had is versus Frost, so I guess you could say it's his worst matchup in Pro League. But yeah, he lost to Super. That one game where he lost to the aggressive build. Deer has the better win ratio in head-to-head. A lot of these stats come from the GSTL, where Maru was still playing on Prime and he was going head-to-head to Seoul, where Deer was the star player of STX Seoul back then. But we live in a different world now, and Maru, I think, has a 7-0 if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, there you go.
No surprise. Maru's 15-1. He's got the best record in Pro League if you're looking at win ratio. It's kind of hard to argue against those results. And Deer hasn't been as pristine lately. I think he was at something like 11-8, and now he's at 11-10. So he's taken a couple of losses, and he's going up against the best Pro League player that we have here.
And he is. Deer could pull off an upset win here. It seems very unlikely.
The map is going to be New Gettysburg for this PVT. So let's go into game number 1 right now. Maru versus Deer on New Gettysburg. Down here in the bottom right in the blue, Samsung Galaxy Con, it is Deer.
And in the bottom left, in green, it is Maru. Jin Air Green Wings Terran. This is a match. Wow, this foreigner speaking great Korean here, saying his friend brought him here to see Maru win. That's what that sign says. Great Korean there, and also
Coming
really
down.
cool art.
Yeah, that was pretty cool, the way he did write that. We were able to read that font.
Yeah. I see
Really,
some of the other signs. I'm like, I don't know what's going on over there.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was impressive. So what I want to say about this map is it's a map where we've seen all sorts of innovative strategies from different races. Even Zerg in the mirror matchup, we've seen some like really cool timing attacks come out here. But neither of these players are very well known for reinventing the wheel, creating the new meta, or even doing like aggressive strategies that are kind of like one-off all-ins. It's usually just kind of like a standard strat, who executes it better. These guys are both champions, and they are champion caliber level players. Maru definitely the favorite here, but Deer is almost never the type to say, well, Maru is the better player, I'll cheese him. That's just not who he is. That's not his style. So we're going to see, even on this newer map that's shown a lot of innovation, probably a build from both players that you would have seen on almost any other type of map.
Yep, very, very standard to start off the day. We'll see if they want to mix it up anytime later. I was talking yesterday about how we've seen the rise of air toss again on this map because of the islands, but generally against Terran, you're not really going to want to do that because if they sneak a drop in, you're pretty much screwed unless you've got your mothership core nearby. But either way, don't think we'll be seeing that.
Yeah, it's too risky. But you could make arguments for it, but it's just the amount of commitment you'd have to having the mothership core there and the pylons and or cannons to defend means that the Terran could just drop your main or your natural instead where your mothership core isn't and punish you in a different way. Now, Liberators are still very powerful in this matchup because the Protoss didn't actually get any changes to deal with them there. It was really specifically targeted towards the Zergs dealing of the Liberators. So Liberator is very strong on this map because the air rush distance is quite short. We'll see what Maru has planned. Maru could also do a delayed Cyclone push. We've seen that on this map before as well. It's not really Maru's style. He usually just plays macro games, uses some drop pressure to get a tempo advantage. But doing a Cyclone type pressure and committing that deep is just not something he's known for.
Yeah, for sure. And it was an interesting spot that he's putting these buildings in his base in. I think he's going to be going for Banshees here. He just wants to make sure that it's as far away from the observer, making it across the map as possible, so that he has, you know, the longest time to keep it hidden for. And also possibly, if Deer doesn't scout the entire base, he may fully hide it here. And it is actually going to be a tank, not a Banshee.
He's going to do the Cyclone push. He's done this already once before. I can't remember who he played against, but it was like the most one-sided game ever. He just walked across the map with Cyclone push and won it.
Maybe it was Biel on Overgrowth.
I'm trying to remember who it was up against, but he's getting not a War Prism, a Medevac here first. And the Cyclone will come out after the Siege Tank because it's faster. And he's going to build a decent Marine count. He's already building it up quite a bit. Deer is going for a War Prism drop. The problem with this, especially with considering the builds that we have here, is if that gets scouted and locked onto by the Cyclone, Maru will kill it, you know, almost definitely. There's a large dead airspace, but he will have to get it there quickly. Maru could even scan to get the finishing kill if he gets locked on. Look at this, he already sees it. Now, he will want to commit to a bigger warp if he actually wants to fight this. Close call there, almost losing 2 of those Adepts. And in fact, the Siege Tank is going to go on the chase just to secure vision on that.
Yeah, not really going to be able to drop out those Adepts unless you... Oh, okay, he's coming over here to defend, and he's not defending. Okay, there he goes. Oracle is going to commit, though, and it's going to get 5 kills in total.
He had it shift-clicked to move and then patrol, so he had the patrol like commanded there. He's actually going to commit the Siege Tank here because he saw the Oracle and he knows there's no air units that can push this back, at least not yet. The Void Ray is on the way. But this is a cool thing to do. Now the Cyclone is out, the Liberator's on the way. He can move across for some heavier pressure should he choose to, but he's already kind of leaning away from that. Again, this is the Maru style. He just wants to play a more straight-up game, get 2 turrets, get the Siege Tank for safety, get the 3rd CC up, and just outplay Deer in a longer game.
I was surprised that Maru didn't drop here at the bottom of this 3rd and, you know, start harassing at those gases. but just to back off, make sure he doesn't lose that or anything.
Yeah, maybe he's like worried that the Void Ray was like immediately made predicting this kind of pressure, and that he was going to get caught there. Because I think he did use his boost earlier, it was still on cooldown from chasing that Warp Prism. But he definitely could have, in the situation that we're in, committed more there. You're absolutely right.
Maru being very safe, making turrets in his base. One at the bottom right and one at the top left of the natural. Just wants to make sure that he's not taking any damage from any air units that come out here anytime soon.
One of the unique things about this map, for this matchup, is there is a lot of dead airspace for units to escape versus Cyclones, for example. There's a lot of areas where you can run away from Marines. But there's not a lot of dead airspace to harass mineral lines with. If you get behind a mineral line and you're actually committing to the harass there, whether with a Marine drop or a siege tank drop, if you're like at the back of the base, or even a Liberator, you don't have room to run, and you will be killed if you actually commit to that. So it's hard for Maru to now sneak a Liberator back behind any of these mineral lines because there's no space to do so. So he's actually just using the Liberator defensively, as you guys can see here, and is not continuing to produce them. He is, however, continuing to produce siege tanks, and he will have quite a few of those when he decides to push across the map.
Yeah, kind of an interesting style we're going to be seeing from him, just Marine tank. No Marauders in the mix, no straight bio here for Maru. Definitely mixing it up a bit. And from Deer, just very standard. I mean, it's even down to the numbers, right? He gets Immortals, he gets a lot of Stalkers and Blink, then he'll probably get Resonating Glaives, he gets exactly 8 Gateways. It's just kind of the way that you do things, right?
Yeah.
In this matchup. Zest kind of perfected the style. You would always start with an Oracle harassment and then go into 8 gates. The double upgrades. It seemed like he went for a later Twilight but got an earlier Forge and got +1 instead. And also has a third base in here. So he's not trying to hit any timing like Zest usually does, or did.
Yeah, but this is still very powerful. And Maru's, the thing he lacks most here is actually the stim for the defense. He has siege tanks, which will be quite strong here. He also doesn't have a lot of Liberators, because he was not building those yet because they're not useful to harass on this map as much. But even having those Marines there and a few of them getting caught is pretty smart because he gets vision and he knows the attack's coming. His tanks get a few more shots off. Okay, Cyclone is in position here as well. Can't keep the lock on though.
Yeah, not quite. Look at this. There is a tank in the main, and at the same time, he is going to attack the third.
Picks off another siege tank. And if he kills Stim, that's huge. I don't know what's going on in the main base. We don't have a shot of it. Looks like he's not committing to killing that. Had he done that, it could have been disastrous. He could have actually stopped Stim from finishing. Looks like it will finish. The Liberator, the one he does have, is in position. A lot of damage done to Maru's economy, though. 13 SCVs killed. He's going to commit to this warp in. Don't know about this one. There's too many Marines here with Stim and combat shields and medevac, so that was definitely going to be a wasted warp in. But this third base, as a result, will be forced to lift.
Maru's whole base is on fire at the moment. Everything's going down in the
He's
repair.
repairing it. He's getting a third one over there. Should he save it?
Oh,
he does not.
Goes down. Protoss Army does eat some damage, but retains most of its units and does kill the CC.
Maru needs to counterattack right now, I'd say. He has 23 Marines and 5 medevac, so he has so much pressure he can put on. And because he has a nice defensive position as natural, he's not afraid there. He's just simply going to load up these tank evacs and move across the map. He has +1 armor finishing up now as well, which will give him an upgrade lead. Yes, the glaives will be on. Okay, the armor's finishing up for Deer as well. I didn't realize he got it that quick. He must have committed the chrono to it. So it is going to be even on upgrades, plus the glaives. Maru does have a lot of Marines here, though, and siege tank support. If the tanks can actually get good damage off in this fight, I think he can take it. He needs to set up perfectly, though, and here we go. Blink is, of course, available here. Only one Stalker goes down for several Marines. A good trade for Deer so far. He wants to slow this down. He's taking a 4th base. Maru needs to do damage here. Deer will win this game.
Yep, you're exactly right. He needs to counterattack. I'm not even sure if he's going to expect a 4th base this early, but he really does need to shut that down. He's got the position. He's pushed the army way back.
And because he lost no medevacs really during that exchange, he was able to continue to produce Liberators. Reactor, in fact, so he has 3 and he will soon have 5. These siege tanks are going to shell away at these pylons. He's going to commit to the shade. He may cancel this. Okay.
Yep, there's a cancel.
There's too many Liberators here, but he's going to try to go for some reinforcements. Trying to catch the Siege tank. The blink forward does get the tank, but now he can't blink under these Liberators. This is going to be a tough engage to take for Deer. I don't know if he should be doing this, but he does have a depth on the right side.
Coming from two sides, he's going to sandwich this entire army, and I think he should be able to take this out. He's going to force Maru back at least, and that's huge. Maru doesn't have a third base. Deer has 4 bases now, and he's held the attack.
He lost all his Liberators. I think this is just game over. This is pretty much checkmate. Deer could start 2-2. He has a 4th.
Wow.
Maru just scans that. And it was really the flank on the Adepts that won that fight for him. Deer with some indecision here. Kills his War Prism. That means he can be a little more flexible with his movements. But I actually thought that was a mistake initially just because he had already used his blink, but he had so much on the ground it didn't matter. Liberator count being rebuilt here for Maru. He's making nothing but Liberators, tanks, and Marines, and only sometimes tanks because he is so stripped for money right now. He doesn't have a third. He's repositioning his main to that third base right now, and he kills the 4th of Deer.
Deer kind of just lets it go. He's like, I'm so far ahead. He must have had a scout over there at the third base of Maru too, and like know that nothing's happening. So he's like, okay, I don't necessarily have to hold this. I would like to, but maybe I can't.
This is scary here for Maru. He's stimmed twice now, and he can't heal because his medevacs are on boost on move command here, so they're not actually set to heal. So this army is very low on hit points. The Adepts are going for the chase, but he will survive. Maru, a great player in situations like this. In this matchup, by the way, right now, it feels like every PVT that doesn't end with a all-in with a Cyclone is like the best game of the entire lifetime of Starcraft.
Yeah.
Like every single time I watch this matchup, I'm like, damn, anything could happen. It's like such a great matchup right now.
Even Colossi can be built. They did get a small attack speed buff a while ago. I think it was like a month and a half ago, maybe 2 months. And to make it stronger, we don't see it all the time. The other composition with the Immortals and the Archons is also very strong. You get Storm too. But this time deciding to go for the Colossi. He's going to get the extended Thermal Lance as well.
I think the key in this next fight is the Liberators. Can he deal with them? He doesn't have a ton of Stalkers. He needs to be careful how he gauges. He blinks forward. He goes for this fight. The Liberators are already pre-positioned here. This is a better fight for Maru, and he takes units out. The only reason why Maru is still in this game is because he's always even in army supply, and he's microing better. Here we go again. Pre-setting up the Liberators, trying to bait Deer in. He loses one this time, but now the siege tanks are getting closer to hitting these critical positions. These are going to start cutting the probes off here. Oh, that one siege tank too far forward. The Liberator zone's going up, though. There's so many Sim Marines, and here comes the fight.
Look at that DPS out of all the Marines, but the Colossi, there's nothing to kill them either.
He doesn't have enough anti-air, though. He doesn't have enough anti-air to kill Liberators, I don't think. Okay, he does warp in and a few more Stalkers, and he will push this back. Without those Stalkers, things could have gotten hairy very, very quickly. But now for the first time, Deer has this lead in army. He has 2-2, and he's had it for a while. He had it for that fight. And now he's going to go over to try to end Maru's third base and end this game.
And there's still nothing to deal with the Colossi. He's got 1 tank, 1 Liberator. There's no Vikings. He doesn't even have Marauders. Yeah. Like, Maru's known for microing Marauders against Colossi in the past and part of the Swarm, but not anymore, not with this composition. And it was a great read by Deer, actually, to go for the Colossi with this very heavy Marine type of army here from Maru.
Well, Deer holds his 4th, and he takes his 5th. And we're finally getting to see a long game on New Gettysburg, where drops are very difficult to pull off. And this is part of the reason why Maru hasn't really found any success with them here. He's going to finally start to find that now. This is a total fake, obviously. This is totally BS. Deer doesn't know that, and he shows this drop first. He's going to try to get Deer to react to this drop and then hit with a real stronger drop towards the north. The problem is the Void Warrior was here, so Deer now knows, okay, I'm fine. Don't need to be worried about this. Another DT coming in meanwhile. And Maru obviously stripped for cash big time, doesn't want to be using scans. He does scan and it does a big stim there. Here comes the drop though to the top right on the 4th. If he can get a snipe here, maybe he can turn this game around. It's going to be very difficult for Maru to get a comeback off here. To get that cannon and then go straight for the Nexus. Only with +1 attack.
Close. Well, if he tries to micro here, I think he can commit. No, the blink coming in. He's going to commit though, and he does get it, but he's going to lose all these Marines for it.
And Deer has a 5th base. This is not going to be a worthwhile trade for Maru. 3-3 is done, and I don't care how well you can micro. If your opponent has Colossi, you don't have an answer for them, and all you're fighting with is Marines and Liberators, with 3-3 against you, there's no way he could survive.
Yeah, I mean, the next time they're going to fight, this 3-3 is going to be done, so...
It's going to be hard for Deer to engage into this, but you can could try to go from the north. If he attacks into this, this might be one way Maru can win a fight. Because he's got like such a spread of these siege units. Even a turret here at the front for DTs, and if the Colossus get too close, that could be a problem.
Oh, look at this. He's like, no, I'm not going to fight into your sieged up army. What?
Yeah, he's going to go to the south instead of the north. Still not much to accomplish there, though. There's a tight wall there, and Maru is moving back down. He's going to shade up. There's the tight wall I was talking about, and he can't break through just yet. 20 health left on that depot. This is forcing Maru to reposition. Maru moved his natural, so he's still mining from 2 bases. It's incredible that he's even alive still in this game. Like,
the Nomad Terran.
He is by far the best player in Pro League, and he's showing it just time and time again in these games where he is down supply. It's now 3-3 to 1-1. I just want to remind everybody what's going on here in this game. He's down 20 army supply, and yet somehow, some way, this Terran is alive in this game and making it look difficult for Deer.
Deer just can't really find a good angle. I mean, he has all those Colossi. This is a nice little move. Gonna shade in a bunch of Adepts, try to force Maru out of position, and then go for the attack.
Okay, Maru's gonna get a nice trade here. Deer needs to be decisive in this moment to make this worth it.
He's killed 22 SCVs like it was nothing. It's half of his economy in SCVs.
Okay, this is the time, this is the moment where Deer's gonna be decisive. This base is vulnerable. Maru's going to have to let it go. I think Maru might even just have to base trade here if he's going to win this game. If he tries to fight in this position, it will be difficult. However, he's trapped the Protoss army up there. He's going to have to go to the north. He saves the orbital. He still has 25 SCVs and, you know, mules he can drop. He's still mining. Oh, and he's going to go over here and find a few of these units. Can actually kill the Warp Prism, come off reinforcements, and get a good trade here. The Liberation Zones are mispositioned. He does recorrect them, though. But he's going to lose this orbital.
Oh, boy. Kind of a positional advantage here. There's going to be a GG! Deer takes the upset win on Maru.
One of 2 Protoss players this season, and he brings Maru to a 15-2. Maru will no longer be able to take that first place spot. This also secures hero #1 in the winners ranking.
Once
alone.
again.
Like alone, now he has it to himself. No one can tie him. And that's it. Only Super and Deer this entire season. And nothing that happens after this matters for the official records. We're able to defeat Maru. And Maru, boy, did he make that game look like it wasn't in Deer's favor for so long. I mean, Deer's like, I don't even know what to do.
Yeah, he was trying. He was hanging on there for a long time for sure. We're going to jump into another PvT. It's going to be Reality versus Trap coming up next. Reality, I feel like, is the favorite here. I'm not sure that you agree, though.
I don't. I think that Trap is going to win this game. We're going into Dust Towers, okay? Dust Towers, horseshoe map. Okay, everything that we talk about when we talk about this matchup is all about the horseshoe at the top. How much damage can you get done with your Liberators? How much can you get done with your drop play? And I personally feel that the best player in the world at defending drop pressure is Trap. He will not die to your aggression, ever. He is going to shut down every drop and every Liber, and he has done that in the past consistently. He sometimes struggles with his mid to late game decision making. Sometimes doesn't take the best fights, doesn't build the best compositions. But if he holds off Reality's aggression on this map, and I think he will, I think he takes this. And I'm shocked and surprised that I'm the only one again who has, I might not be the only one, but of the foreign commentators, I am the only one who thinks Trap is going to take this. It's like when Maru, I voted for Maru and I was like, nah, I think TY. I'm like, really? What games are you guys watching?
That one is a little closer though.